Let's get to the Epstein story. Trump continues to keep the door open for his Ghislaine Maxwell pardon. He says, I'm allowed to do it. We know you're allowed to do it. The question is, are you going to do it? Let's take a listen.
Is clemency on the table for her in exchange for testimony?
I'm allowed to do it, but nobody's asked me to do it. I know nothing about it. I don't know anything about the case. But I know I have the right to do it. I have the right to give pardons. I've given pardons to people before, but nobody's even asked me to do it.
Nobody's questioning that. It's not true nobody's asked you to do it. Ghislaine Maxwell's team has certainly asked you to do it, and we're going to get to that in a second. But before we do, we of course have to play this clip of Trump. Will you pardon Diddy? And listen to the justification he gives. Let's take a listen.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
Yeah, and it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I would say so.
Okay.
Got it. And some of it is about nasty things for Trump. That's the
I mean, it's just wild that he just out and out, and it's like, well, he didn't support me, so I don't think I'll probably give him a pardon. Like, it just is, it's so naked. He doesn't even pretend that, he was unjustly prosecuted. No, it's like, well, you know, we used to be friends, but then he said some nasty things about me, so I don't know. I'm not really feeling that way. It's just insane. And there's a bunch of new reporting, too, from the New York Times about just, like, the brazen corruption, including the payoffs, the bribes in order to secure these pardons. And people around Diddy are trying to work the system right now, trying to get in with various MAGA figures and, like, pay off whoever they need to effectively to try to secure this pardon. I mean, this is just the way this White House functions. It's crazy to see.
So with that and the Ghislaine story, let's continue. Let's put this up there on the screen. Ghislaine Maxwell has now been moved to, quote, a cushy new club-fed prison as she pushes for a deal to tell all on Epstein. That prison is in Bryan, Texas, the town I was literally born in, and it is a minimum security prison camp. For those of you not familiar, these prison camps are like the lowest level security in the federal system. They barely even have like fences or security measures. Like there's photos of Elizabeth Holmes running around the track. Just to show you, people like photographers can get close enough to take pictures of Elizabeth Holmes, the Theranos woman, who is in the facility. Now, there's a lot of actually open questions about how she even got this. Number one, she wasn't supposed to be transferred. Ghislaine was previously housed at a federal correctional institute, low security prison, which is traditionally what you're supposed to do with sex offenders. Sex offenders are not supposed to be moved to federal prison camps because it's a privilege to be able to be housed there. So it's an open question for why the BOP felt the need to transfer.
It's not an open question.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, though. I mean,
we know
listen.
why.
All right, listen.
We know why.
FOIA guys, by the way, FOIA people out there, let's get some records. This is all out, you know, should be there in the open. Who ordered it? You know, was it the head of the BOP, the Department of Justice, in exchange for what? Because this all gets to what is the deal being struck here between Ghislaine and the Trump administration in these extraordinary proffer sessions or whatever, where she's naming some 100 individuals. Who are those individuals? To what end are you naming these people? The Ghislaine Maxwell team obviously is saying, you know, we want our whole conviction thrown out. They're trying to appeal to the Supreme Court. Will the Justice Department fight her on that? That's still an open question. So listen, I mean, this is all like very sketchy behavior, because if the door is now open to a pardon, and let's say she comes out and she has a lot to say, but none of it is about Donald Trump, can anybody really trust, you know, that this is legitimate? And see, that's the problem. This is why you need a independent special prosecutor, somebody with no skin, like actual political skin in the game, to ensure that this stands up to some sort of legal scrutiny. Because if this lady walks free, it will be one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's disgusting. She's a monster.
And she shouldn't even be in this prison.
No, not at all. I mean, she shouldn't be there. By the way, typically these sorts of transfers are done by U.S. Marshals. It was done directly by Bureau of Prisons officials instead. So just, you know, another anomaly here. But No, I mean, we can all see what's happening. It's happening right in front of our eyes. They had that meeting. There were those leaks to the Wall Street Journal, which may have come from Ghislaine and her team about the birthday book and whatever. Then immediately, the Todd Blanche meets with Ghislaine. And lo and behold, next thing you know, she's getting moved to this cushy, listen, I don't think being in federal prison is ever really some vacation the way it's portrayed. But the places that they portray as Club Fed, this is the type of place, right? It's the best you can get within the federal prison system. Not saying that that's a great experience for anyone anyway. But, that session, that proffer session was not just about, okay, what do you have on other people? Because I don't think Trump cares about what do you have on other people. What he cares about is what do you have on me? What do you have on me? And the fact that she had enough to apparently at least secure this little nice transfer for herself over the protocols, she should not have been transferred. She was not actually eligible to be transferred. They had to make an exception for her to get this transfer. Means she had something that made him nervous enough that okay, well, let's at least go this far. And then we'll see if she actually gets the pardon, if the federal government stops fighting her appeal at the Supreme Court. But, I think we can all see what's happening, what's happening on the surface level and interpret what is going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's just more sketchy than anything else, especially whenever you have Trump continuing to open the door for a pardon. So, yeah, that's where we are all currently at. Ghislaine is sitting pretty in the federal prison camp system and the so-called Club Fed. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, please. Let's put it up there on the screen. The FBI has redacted Trump's name now in the Epstein Files. This is from Jason Leopold. Jason Leopold, just so people don't know, is really one of the preeminent kind of FOIA reporters of our time. If anybody recalls on this Epstein story, I previously referenced the CIA Inspector General who was covering up, sex crimes and pedophilia. That was all because really of Leopold's work through a tremendous amount of FOIA victory that he had actually over the CIA and eventually getting his hands on those documents. So what he was able to find in the report is basically how they were redacting Trump's name, along with, by the way, several other names. Be nice to know who some of those people were. But officially, it's the redaction that is from, he was able to learn through FOIA. Not only that, but the order itself came down from this current administration. And it's one, too, where in a certain way, I think they were really their own worst enemy. Because what happened prior, based on everything I've read now so far in the open record, is these 100,000 documents were scattered all over the government. Nobody had actually compiled them together. So Kash Patel and these other people were like, all right, put it all together. And then slowly but surely, they're like, Trump is in here. Just so people. So it starts to float up to the White House as of 2 months before the memo comes in. And then the order at some point, gets a, hey, let's go ahead and issue redactions, etc. And somewhere around that time of redaction and knowledge by Trump that his name is in there, that is when the infamous memo comes out from the administration of nothing to see here, killed himself, we will do no more further releases. And look, you can draw your own conclusions. And again, part of the reason why I think this is such a foolish decision by the administration is that what's happening now are all of these leaks from inside of the DOJ. The birthday book, it only came from two places. It came from the FBI or it came from Ghislaine. I still think it came from the FBI because they haven't released the letter. And the only reason not to release the letter is because it's scanned. And they haven't even acknowledged in the story, down in the 50th paragraph or so, that the scans of the book are available in the Epstein Files. And that's one of the ways that you'd be able to get it. But similarly, with some of the other letters that they didn't release of Bill Clinton and others, same thing. They referenced scans being made of that. Of course, it could be available to Ghislaine's legal defense team. So, that's certainly possible as well. But if you look at other stories, like at the New York Times, the scans of the book where Trump wrote to Epstein in 1997, same thing. It's a scan. It's not a picture of the actual book. And they say, again, if you read further, scans of the book are available in the Epstein Files. So it's just open season in terms of leaks on the administration. And he's currently the only story on it. And it could be 150 other stories. But, I guess he's scared of whatever that story is or, is just doing a stupid job at covering up. He can answer that problem at any time by actually releasing it and killing this entire story. But that's what they've chosen not to do.
Yeah. Well, and at this point, it's really too late because, like you said, you could never trust what came out of them from them at this point. Like, there's no way way that you're going to be able to get some sort of full accounting from these people, because they've invested a whole lot in a cover-up, and we're going to cover the also some video irregularities too, in that video that they really, because remember when they put out the memo, he killed himself, nothing to see here, we're moving on, case closed, Prince Andrew, you're vindicated. When that memo went out, the only proof that they offered was this video evidence, which was supposed to demonstrate conclusively to all of us that no, there was no funny business on the night that Jeffrey Epstein was killed. It was just a series of unfortunate incidents where the cameras were not functioning and the guards were asleep, and here's the video and let's all move on.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.